Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at a band I've not heard of before. They were requested a little while ago when I think it was when I covered Tardigrade Inferno, in fact. I could be mistaken, but someone in the comments asked for me to have a look at a Russian band called ＳLOT. Never heard of them before. I've got a few Russian bands on my computer in my music collection because one of my ex-girlfriends was Russian, but this is not one I've heard of. So of course, as my normal thing, I had to try and find some information about them, and you know what, it was bloody difficult because every page I found about them was in Russian and I couldn't even find a button to translate the page, so it took me a while to find some information, but I found some. I persevered, and I found the band ＳLOT is a Russian metal band. Members of the group include Daria Nuki Stavrovich, Igor Lobanov, Sergei I.D. Bogolubska, or something like that, and Nikita Muravyov, along with Vasily Ghost Gorshkov. Since its inception, the group has released 8 studio albums, 2 remix albums, 2 mini albums, 2 live DVDs, and 20 singles. So, you know, they've been around for a while and they've released a fair amount of material, which is quite impressive. The band was formed by the male vocalist and chief songwriter Igor Lobanov, nicknamed Cash, and Denis Kromich, nicknamed Dan, in 2002 in Moscow. In 2003 they released their debut album ＳЛОТ 1 under the Mystery of Sound recording label. In the summer of 2006 they opened their MySpace page. This is how long they've been going. In autumn 2006 the band released their second studio album, Two Wars. On the 19th of September 2009 they released their fourth album. Somehow they missed out when they released the third album there. In 2011, they released Break the Code, which is their debut English album. It was released on the 23rd of August. Special editions of this album also released in Japan. So, yeah, basically it's just a history of all the music they released, not actually all that much about the band. Now, it suggests the genre is nu metal. So, okay, fair enough. And we're going to be looking at a track called Instинkt выживания, which I hope I pronounced that right. If I haven't, I do apologise. But I do believe that stands for survival instinct. Now, I have some translated lyrics here, because the original lyrics for the song were under a live video of the song, but they were all written in Cyrillic, which I don't understand, so I had to hunt around a bit to try and find some translated lyrics for this, but I did eventually find some, but how accurate they are, I don't know. But yes, I'm curious to see what we've got here, so we'll jump into this. I believe the track we're looking at is a lyric video anyway, but I don't know whether the on-screen lyrics will be in Russian or in English. Most likely Russian, I imagine. So we'll jump into this and see what we've got. So, Survival Instinct by ＳLOT. Let's have a look.
Вышли из дома на улице, переступать через каблуков, и щурится, все оставили там, поставили все на кон. 100 лет назад и мы уже далеко. Из-под 3-4 днем за днем 4-5 нас район и город на буксире. Мы летим. Мы просто пешеходы с факелами в руках. Мы несем свободу в головах и сердцах. выживания. Но мы тут такие же, как все Сереги, Дани, Сани, Ваня. Искусство этих микрошагов, оно ведет к большим чудесам. И мы пришли, чтоб точно дойти до конца. Мы идем. Мы идем. Мы идем. Мы идем. Когда 3-4 днем за днем 4-5 нас втроем и город на буксире мы летим. Мы просто пешеходы с факелами в руках. Мы несем свободу в головах и сердцах. Принципы все те же, и правила просты. Мы мертвы без надежды, мы мертвы без мечты. Просто пешеходы с факелами в руках. Мы несем свободу в головах и сердцах. Принципы все те же, и правила просты. Мы мертвы без надежды, мы мертвы без мечты. Без мечты. Без мечты. Без мечты. Просто пешеходы с факелами в руках. Мы несем свободу в головах и сердцах. Принципы все те же, и правила просты. Мы мертвы без надежды, мы мертвы без мечты.
Interesting. Well, that was Survival Instinct by ＳLOT. Very interesting. Very, very different. I can't think of anything I've heard similar. It's very, very different. I mean, they were described as nu metal, and I can see that there is definitely a nu metal sort of influence sort of in there, but there's a lot of electronica sort of dance sort of music in there as well. So it's an interesting combination. And it's very well executed as well. You got the male vocalist, I can't remember his name now, doing like mostly the verses, and then we've got the female vocalist coming in doing the choruses with much harsher vocal style. So it's very, very interesting. Now, the song itself, Survival Instinct, it sounds like they're talking about being in the midst of some sort of turmoil of some sort of thing, being forced out of their homes, being forced to like find their way and survive in the middle of all of this. That's what it seems to suggest. It's not very clear. Like I said, I don't know how good this translation is. Excuse me. I don't know how good this translation is, and yeah, but the way the song was performed, there seemed to be a lot of passion behind it, especially in the chorus area. So we'll just look at the lyrics here and see if we can't figure out exactly what we're talking about here. It goes, "We, once upon a time, we went out of the house into the streets, step over the shit, push and. Everything was left there. We were putting everything on the line. 100 years ago, and we are already far away." So again, like I said, this translation might not be good. It might be a literal translation of what the lyrics were, because that's something I found a bit odd about the video. They put the title of the song in English, but the rest of the lyrics were in Russian. Go figure. Anyway, so it says, "We once upon a time we went out of the house into the street, step over the shit, push, and everything was left there." So it sounds like they've left their home and like the streets filled with with shit, with rubbish, with debris, you know, the stepping over all this garbage, you know, everything was left out in the streets. So, like, people panicking, you know, evacuating their houses, you know, they're just leaving their stuff scattered all over the streets. Is that what they're talking about? It says, we put everything on the line 100 years ago and we are already so far away. So, we put everything on the line 100 years ago and we are so... Is that like, we've been through this once before, you know, and already we seem to have forgotten the mistakes we made in the past? I don't know. I really don't know. Now, it comes into the chorus, where obviously those female vocals came in, brilliantly performed, you know, and I've mentioned many, many times, I do like when bands mix up vocal styles, and, you know, with the difference between the male vocals and the female vocals. I believe the male did sort of do some like doubling on the chorus, you know, he put on a bit of you know, a bit of an edge onto his voice, a bit more harshness when he came to the chorus, but it was predominantly the female vocalist doing the chorus here. And it says, we are going, search on 3 to 4. In the afternoon with fire, find 4 to 5. US District and the city in tow. We are going, we are just pedestrians with torches in their hands. We carry freedom in the minds and hearts. The principles are still the same, and the rules are simple. We are dead without hope. We are dead without a dream. So we are going, search on 3 to 4, or it says 3-4. I'm assuming that means 3 to 4. You know, search on 3 to 4. In the afternoon with fire, find 4 to 5. I'm not sure what that means. But it says US District and the city in tow. We are going, we are just pedestrians. So US District, are they talking about a point where maybe the US gained control of part of the city? I don't know. You know, but it's suggesting here that they're evacuating the city, you know, they're leaving the city, they've left their homes, you know, there's stuff left out in the streets where people have hurriedly left their homes, and they're saying, you know, we're leaving the city in tow. We are going, we're just pedestrians with torches in their hands, we carry freedom in the minds and hearts. So, you know, it sounds like they're trying to escape something. You know, we're just pedestrians, so it's like all these people that have escaped the city are sort of leading a mass exodus, you know, trying to get away, trying to get somewhere safe. You know, they're just regular people walking the streets with torches in hands, and all they have is hope and freedom, you know, because they're trying to escape this oppression that seems to be overtaking them. It suggests, I'm not sure. It's very unclear. It says the principles are still the same and the rules are simple. So, you know, we still maintain the same sort of principles, you know. And out here, you know, in the midst of all of this, you know, in the midst of everything that's happening, you know, we are dead without hope. We are dead without a dream. So as long as they're holding on to hope, as long as they believe that, you know, some good will come out of the situation they're in, you know, no matter how dire it is, as long as they keep that hope in their hearts, they know they will survive and something good will eventually happen. Possibly. This is not a religious procession. This is not a religious procession, just a survival instinct. Be quiet. Well, here we are, the same as everyone else. Sir Yogi, Tanya, Sunny and Vanya. The art of these micro steps, it leads to great miracles. And we went out to get to the end for sure. We are going, we are going, we are going, we are going. So they're saying, you know, this isn't like a religious exodus, you know, this isn't like a demonstration, a religious march or anything like this. This is just us trying to survive, you know, this is just survival instinct. You know, we're trying to get away from whatever is plaguing our homes, you know, whatever it is that's happening in our homes. We're just trying to get away. You know, we're not trying to protest, we're not doing anything, we're just trying to escape. It says we are here, we are all we're all the same as everyone else, and then it lists 4 names, so Yogi, Tanya, Sani and Vanya. I think they might just be names that they pull out of the air, I don't know. I don't remember them being the names of anybody in the band. You know, so they're saying, you know, no matter who we are, in this moment, we are all the same. You know, it doesn't matter what position you might have held, doesn't matter what job you might have had, at this moment, as we are all trying to achieve the same goal, we're all the same person. These art of micro steps, it leads to great miracles. So in this act of walking away, in this act of marching together, it's going to lead to greater things. We're a united front. We're going to get through this together, possibly. It says, and we went out to get to the end for sure. We are going, we are going, we are going. So again, I don't know. Then back into that chorus. We are going, search on 3 to 4. In the afternoon with fire, find 4 to 5. US district and the city in tow. We are going. We're just pedestrians with torches in their hands. We carry freedom in the minds and hearts. The principles are still the same and the rules are simple. We are dead without hope. We are dead without a dream. We are just pedestrians with torches in their hands. We carry freedom in our minds and hearts. The principles are still the same and the rules are simple. We are dead without hope. We are dead without a dream. Without a dream, 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 without a dream. We are just pedestrians with torches in their hands. We carry freedom in minds and hearts. The principles are still the same and the rules are simple. We are dead without hope. We are dead without a dream. And that's that. So, it does sound... It sounds very much like, they're trying to escape something terrible that's happening in their home, And at the beginning, you say, we leave the house and step out into the streets and we're stepping over all this rubbish, all this shit that's sort of spread across the streets, and, they're saying they search on 3 to 4 and trying to find 4 to 5. Again, I don't know exactly what that means. But again, with the suggestion of the US district and the city in tow. So, whether the US district means like the US Army, I don't know. That they're leaving the city behind. They're trying to escape the city in this mass exodus of people. At this very moment, they're all one united group. They're all the same. No one's better than anybody else in this moment. So it does sound like they're trying to escape from something. What it is exactly, I'm not 100% sure. I might need more. I might need more context. There might be other tracks on the album that might suggest what the song's about. It might be a concept album. I don't know. I don't know enough about the band to put that forward. But it was a very interesting band. It was very interesting music. Like I said, there was definitely the nu metal elements in there. And you could really hear the bass guitar throughout that piece of music. And everybody knows I love the sound of a bass guitar. But it had a lot of sort of electronica and almost sort of dance-like elements in the music as well. It sounded really good. It was very, very interesting. I would be very intrigued to explore this band further. Very interesting. I liked it. I thought it was very good. So, yeah. Very interesting. Something very new and very different. And, like I said, I've covered... maybe a couple of Russian bands, not very many, but I've covered bands like Tardigrade Inferno, obviously Russian, and I'm sure I've covered one or two others. But this is something different, and I quite like it. So yeah, don't know what else I can say, and so we'll leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like or a subscribe, because it really, really would help this channel out. It would really, really help me out. I spend a lot of time and effort putting these videos together, finding bands to listen to, something new, something different, something interesting. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and, I'm uploading them, and the videos are just sort of disappearing because, no one's liking and subscribing, so they're not getting suggested to people, and it's kind of depressing. I've been doing this for about 5 years, give or take, and, I like to think I'm doing something different to other reactors. I'm not overreacting, I'm not giving fake reactions. I like to believe I'm giving honest, true reactions and opinions on pieces of music, and I like to think I look at some bands that other people might not necessarily look at. I don't know if there's any other reactor out there who's looked at this band before. I like to think that I'm open to something new, something different, and something unusual. And even on the premiere of a song I did a few weeks ago, someone said, they liked what I did because I will look at bands that others won't. And, I appreciated that because, I'm all open for discovering something new and something interesting. And this band that I looked at today, ＳLOT, was something very new I'd never heard of before, never heard of the band before. I had no idea what it was going to be, and I liked it. I thought it was very, very good, and I want to investigate them further. And I hope, I like to think that I bring that sort of option to other people as well, that they might discover something new through what I do. But, if my videos don't get suggested to people, no one's going to find it. No one's going to find out. No one's going to possibly discover something new and interesting. Well, through me, they might discover something new and interesting somewhere else. But, you know what I mean. So, if you could like and subscribe, it really, really would help me out. It takes a fraction of a second. It doesn't cost you anything. And, it really would help me out. It would really help the channel out, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Мы просто пешеходы с